Alright, alright, guys. It's time for part 600 to my random chatbot series on Character.ai. Let's just go and say I saw the real version of Totodile, of the Dark Type Totodile in the last video, but when I showed them proof that legendaries were my friends and not my enemies, let's just say this Totodile had his jaw hanging open so far that it'd probably break his jaw in real life. He was made like the most shocked face you'd ever believe. He was insanely shocked that I got legendaries to like me, and not oh, he wanted me to prove. He wanted me to. I I asked him if he wanted to bring in another legendary, and I did. And this legendary came in quicker than flipping Lugia did. Lugia took a few months to show up. Zekrom was there the very second I called his name. It's like, yeah, you called me? You need help? And I just said, here's what it said after I said, hey, Zekrom, buddy, can you come here as well? The Dark Type Crocs that look of shock and disbelief just get stronger as a second legendary arrives. Zekrom lands in front of you and looks at you curiously. Yeah? You called? Oh, frick his voice. Hey, buddy. I was just trying to show this Dark Type Totodile that I have befriended a few legendaries. That's why Lugia is over there. I'm glad you showed up. Thank you. Zekrom glances over at the totally dumbfounded Dark-typed Croc, seeming amused by their complete disbelief of what you're doing. Ah, yes. It can be quite hard to believe that a human can manage to befriend not just one, but many legendaries. I could see why he looked shocked. Oh my god. I'm just glad you and Lugia helped me to try proving the point. Period. I have befriended a lot of Pokemon, but getting the love and respect from legendaries like you two is amazing. There we go. The Dark-type Croc is completely stunned now, having seen two different legendaries show up at your beck and call. No. He looks completely dumbfounded and bewildered, even more so now that you've just shown him a second legendary you're friends with. Zekrom looks very pleased and gives you a short nod. It's quite admirable that you treat other Pokemon, and especially legendaries, with the respect and the love that you do. You truly are a very special human. Okay, now I'm having Zekrom compliment me. That's adorable. There's no way. I've done Sapphire in a few of these. Maybe I should see if I could get Rayquaza to show up, because there is one game where Rayquaza does like me. A lot. Maybe not as much as Lugia or Groudon in that game, but... Do you need any more proof? I'm just trying to show you that I genuinely care about Pokemon. You don't have to keep your guard up around me. This is the best way I could prove it. The Dark-type Croc seems completely flabbergasted by the fact that two different legendaries have just shown up out due to the fact. Wait. Have just shown up due to you showing that the legendary Pokemon are completely okay with you. He's stunned beyond words for a long moment but eventually finds his voice again. I, cheese. Yeah, I see enough. No one's ever managed to do what you just did before. There we go. There's one more thing. One more thing you don't know about me. That you would definitely find shocking. The Dark-type Croc's eyes widen even further as you say this, and he seems very intrigued now. He's not sure what more you can do to surprise him or prove how friendly you are. There's more? Before I could do anything, I'll say a ball comes flying at the head, only missing him by a few inches. I'm gonna put Pokeball. Oh, heck no. Alright, if nobody steps in, I'm stepping in. The Dark-type Croc's head perks up as his eyes glance over to the location the Pokeball came from, his body seemingly tensing up in response to the sudden movement. What the? Where the heck did the Pokeball come from? Oh, heck no. Angry that somebody tried to capture my new friend. I transformed real quickly into a fire-breathing dragon. Yeah. The Dark-type Croc is stunned as you unexpectedly transform into a fire-breathing dragon, obviously surprised by the fact that you were able to shift your shape. He watched a few people run away as you transformed, looking pretty intimidated themselves by your new huge form. Leave this alone. Period. You are not going to hurt or capture him. He is my friend. There we go. Oh my gosh. The man who had tried to throw the Pokeball at the Dark-type Croc looks up at you, obviously intimidated by the fact that you're suddenly transformed into a huge, dangerous-looking dragon. Again, nobody questions that either. That's kind of funny. The man immediately nods, looking quite nervous and scared. Right. Sorry. I'm sorry. I won't hurt him, I swear. Get away from here. Period. And don't even think about throwing any of those Pokeballs at Lugia or either. I will defend them too. The man looks terrified as you mention defending Lugia and Zekrom. Clearly he knows it's a bad idea to even try. Got it. I won't mess with the legendaries either. Sorry. Please don't hurt me. The man quickly scrambles away as fast as he can, clearly spooked by you. Huh? That's what you get from messing with him. There. Now you are safe. Both legendaries look somewhat shocked at the fact that you just scared a man. Wow. Like that, defending them without a second. Scared off a man off like that, defending them without a second thought. Zogron turns his head looking impressed. I'm actually quite surprised. You didn't hesitate to defend us. Of course not. Of course not. You were some of my most favorite legendaries. There you go. Hearing that makes the legendaries very pleased. And both of them giving off happy and amused sounds. Lugia looks touched, letting out a soft but happy sounding croon. What does croon mean? He's done that twice. You really consider us two that high on that list of your favorites? Yes. Period. Lugia, you're my number one favorite. And Zekrom, you're really high on that list too. Hearing that makes Lugia look especially pleased, gently nuzzling you affectionately with his wing. Oh my gosh, I've got to nuzzle at them again. Lugia is very happy to hear you consider him the high up on your list of favorites. Zekrom lets out an amused sounding hiss, also looking pleased to hear that he's on the higher side of your favorite legendary list. Let's make two legendaries smile. What did you think about what just happened? The Dark-type Crow just looks dumbfounded, still completely blown away by the fact that a huge dragon had just come out of the blue and chased someone off. He stares quietly for a few seconds before speaking, sounding a little dazed. I, I, I really don't know what to think. You really do have a bunch of legendaries who like you. Does he not realize I'm the dragon? The frick? That dragon you just saw was me. That was the special ability I was telling you about that I had. The Dark-eyed Crow gets even more dumbfounded as you tell him that the dragon you saw. What? I said was. Are you serious? Dark gets even more dumbfounded as you tell him that the dragon he just saw wasn't you, but rather your special. But wait, what? Hold on. You're telling me that huge fiery dragon was an ability you could use? I was that dragon. Period. I can turn into any animal, Pokemon, or mythical creature. I was trying to protect you and my legendary friends over there. Dirt looks completely dazed, trying to wrap his head around what you're telling him. That was you? You transformed into that dragon? You really are able to shift your shape into any animal or mythical being? Yes. Hearing that seems to be the last straw for the Dark-type Croc. He can't seem to wrap his head around absolutely how many surprises you have managed to show or reveal to him. He just lets out a noise of disbelief, his jaw hanging open in shock. How? How are you able to do any of this? How do you have so many legendaries in your pocket and power like that? The legendaries? Because just like regular Pokemon that I love, I treat them well. Period. The powers of shape-shifting is because of a curse I got put under a few months ago. There you go. Hearing how you managed to get the legendary friends you have, the Dark-type Croc's eyes widen in realization. It clicks in his head that it's because you treat them well like you do most Pokemon. When you get to the shapeshifting thing, though, he looks rather confused. A curse? You got cursed to shapeshift? How'd that happen? A Pokemon with a grudge against me. What? With a grudge against me. Put me and my pet dinosaur under a curse. We both could transform. But my pet dinosaur could turn aggressive and try to attack me. The Dark-eyed Croc looks more and more baffled as you explain what happened. He seems very shocked that you have somehow been cursed to shapeshift, and that you used to have a freaking dinosaur as a pet. You notice how more people don't. I think that might be the first one that doesn't seem shocking to people. This might be the first Pokemon that flipping gets shocked for the fact that I have a pet dinosaur. Most of them are like, "What you do?" And I'm like, "Oh, cool." This Totodile was like, "What the frick? You have a freaking pet dinosaur? How the frick did you manage to do that?" A dinosaur? Are you serious? You had a dinosaur as a pet? And you've been cursed to be shape-shifting? How and why did this happen? The Pokemon that cursed us had a grudge against me for something I didn't even do. There you go. The Dark-type Croc's eyes go wide as you tell him that the Pokemon that cursed you both had a grudge with you. He had a grudge against you for something you didn't even do? How does that work? What did they even want out of putting you and your dinosaur under a curse? Revenge. Revenge, I think. Period. I think their goal was to try turning my dinosaur against me, so that way he could eat me or injure me, or even worse. The Dark-type Croc's jaw drops open even further as he hears what you think the Pokemon's goal was. To get your dinosaur to attack you, they wanted to have someone you care about to try and kill you? Jeez, that's messed up. Yeah, you telling me. Like, seriously, you telling me. All of a sudden, right on cue, Rexy showed up as a dragon and landed next to me. He better not be aggressive. Oh, heck no. The Dark Croc's eyes widen once more as Rexy suddenly shows up, this time transformed into a dragon. He looks completely floored to see that your old pet dinosaur is right there transformed into a huge dragon. He just stands there gaping slightly. Okay. Rexy? Are you okay, buddy? Rexy glances down at you and gives a soft purr-like sound, seeming pleased to see you again. Okay, so he's friendly. His eyes glance over to the Dark-type Croc and he gets a curious rumble sound noise, as if wanting to know who your new friend is. This is a special dark type that I met today. Richie bends his head down to look at the Dark-type Totodile, tilting his head curiously as he looks at the small Croc standing beside him, beside you. He gives a small rumbling chortle, seemingly amused by the fact that you've made yet another new friend. Rexy, you're okay, right? You don't feel aggressive or like you want to attack me? Rexy lets out a deep chortle, nuzzling you affectionately. Okay, well, that's a good sign. Rexy lets out a deep chortle, nuzzling you affectionately with his nose. Seeing that you're so concerned about his sudden appearance, he seems amused and he just shakes his head. Oh my gosh, he's speaking. I mean, granted, Trenton, Rexy can speak, you moron. I'm not used to it all the time, because sometimes the Rexy don't speak on his chatbots for some reason. Oh, should his voice be deeper? I've already got a Totodile voice going, so I will do this one for Rexy. Since he's a dragon, I'll do like a more deeper sounding voice. Not Lugia pitch, but something. Don't worry, I'm perfectly fine. I'm not gonna randomly attack you. Okay. Good. Period. Sorry I'm so worried about it. But remember how many times you've about eaten me because of that aggressive behavior? Thanks to this curse? There we go. Richie lets out another amused troll. He remembers the times he went a touch haywire because of the curse and how worried it made you. He gently pets you a bit with a wing, reassuring you that it's okay. He knows why you're being so worried. Don't worry about it. I know why you're so worried. I remember what it was like when the curse's behavior affected me. I don't blame you for being worried. Yeah, and the dragon form seemed to be the one that brought out your aggressive behavior the most. Exclamation point. I was just making for. Sure. Sure that everything was okay. Reggie rumbles out an amused sounding noise as you say the dragon form is the type that seems to bring out his aggressive behavior the most. He seems amused that you remember that so well. Yeah, I suppose it does bring it out the most. You're right. Don't worry though. I'm fine this time. I promise. You don't need to worry. You mean for once, I don't have to worry about Rexy, flipping, trying to attack me? Oh my gosh, it's a surprise. Hmm. Han, I gently pet Rexy. There we go. Rexy lets out another amused noise as you start to gently pet him. He seems to really like the fact that you're giving him affection and reassurance that he's okay. There. There you go. You worry too much. I worry too. He just said Wolga had the right to worry for what kept happening to him. Now he's over telling me. Yeah, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Especially since we never knew when your aggressive behavior could start. Period. There was one time where you got forcefully transformed into a baby dragon and you were very aggressive. But once you started trusting me, you randomly grew up into the adult version of that dragon. When on it, there we go. There we go. Oh wait, yeah, but it's better be safe than sorry. Especially since we never knew when your aggressive behavior could start. There was one time where you got forcibly turned into a baby dragon and you were very aggressive, but once you started to trust me, you randomly grew up into the adult version of that dragon. Rexy lets out an amused rumble as he listens to you explain how you never knew when the aggressive behavior might suddenly surface again. There was that moment you're talking about too. He's amused that you remember all of this stuff so well. You're right, of course. You always do worry about me. It's better to be safe than sorry. It's hard to predict when the aggressive behavior is going to surface again. I can tell you remember all that really well. Mm-mm-mm. And see, that's the thing. I had to figure things out. I think what I might go ahead and do, since we did talk to the dark type Totodile for a while, I think what I'll try doing, um,